How do you protect yourself and your sources? And is it always worth to take such a high risk?
Well, I think that the taking of risk is worth it because at the end of the day, it impacts on the lives of many people in the society. So it is worth it. It is worth taking the risk. And protection is done. It's very difficult to be able to spell out exactly what is done for protection, but we do our best. And the protection doesn't only go for me, it also goes to the members of my team who always make things happen.
So, which was your first investigation, and what have you learned since then, compared to the first mistakes you maybe did?
My first investigation was done in 2009, and I did it in Ghana, and I learned a lot. First of all, the first thing I learned about it was about impact. I realized that as a journalist, if you take a little bit more time, you spend a little bit more time on a story, you're able to make a more meaningful impact than your day-to-day exercise. And the very first story I published was about police people taking bribes from hawkers. I went undercover as a hawker myself. I was selling peanuts, and I'm very grateful that its impact was very big, and I liked it, and from that day I continued to do it.
And how would you define your relationship with the authorities? Because sometimes you produce evidence for them to then follow up and investigate, while sometimes you're also kind of persecuted by the authorities themselves. So how do you see this relationship?
I keep a very tight rope, and it will always be like that. You cannot not always please government. Sometimes I make government angry, but I walk a tight rope, and I'm aware of it, that sometimes the people you are even collaborating with are the same people who want to get you. It's a fair balance, but you just have to learn it as a journalist, know which lines to cross and which lines to watch carefully before you cross. And then we're able to blend the two. Like I said, when the two of us are collaborate, we have a more meaningful impact on society. That's what gives me the opportunity to go to the court of law and testify against the bad guys who end up in jail.
Just a last question. What, even if it is not an easy one, what's the secret for a good journalistic investigation, and what are the main mistakes to avoid?
I think that patience is very, very important. A lot of research is key, and there will be mistakes. Even when they come, we should not give up. We should stand firm and ensure that we check and cross-check the facts we have before putting it out there. Let's do work in the interest of our people. Whenever we have the people's support, we are going to strive harder, and we are going to push the frontiers of democracy.